Welcome back, everybody. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and dive into the Archer's talents. Same concept goes for your skills, however you like to upgrade them, although I highly recommend getting them all equally up to about 75 or 100, and then start doing them in 25 level increments. The reason so you can go ahead and upgrade them with your ruins to the next level. If you try to do all of them from 100 to 125, you're going to spend a long time before you can get those extra buffs from the ruins. So try doing it one at a time, just to get you as even-keeledly maxed out with your BR as you can. But let's hop right into the talents, okay? So there's two setups that I would probably use. If I'm going PvP, or even let's just say PvB for bosses, right? Solo enemies for me, the setup I would run is going to be Bloodthirst, Mark for Death, Summon Warg, and Windrider. And I'll kind of explain why here for you. So Mark for Death is going to give you, this is mark a target. So there you go, your single enemy, which is dealt 100% damage each second. And it takes 40% increased damage. Okay, so increased damage to a single target. That's what you're looking for. And as you go on, it has the ability to stun that boss, which is really going to be helpful, especially versus PvP, especially if the boss or the enemy you're trying to fight is stronger than you, right? The stun is essential. So moving on to the Bloodthirst for you, that's what's going to give you the equalizer as far as recovering your talents. You may have fought in archers in the past and you think you're winning, and all of a sudden their health just goes right back up. You're like, what's going on? My guess is this right here for you, okay? It's very frustrating when you are other characters trying to fight them, but this is a must for PvP, okay? The Summon Warg is going to be the companion you're going to carry. Obviously, it's the most, there it is, the strongest for you and has the highest attack. So in PvP, that's what you're looking for. You can read the stats here. I won't bother your time with that. And then you're gonna want to carry the Windrider as well. That's going to bring you down some damage reduction. So you're going to have attack perks, you're going to have the stun ability, you're going to have a healing ability, and you're going to have a damage reduction and immunity to all movement reducing effects, which is great when you're looking at something like a warrior, who's going to try to stun you, immobilize you, whatever you want to call it, and then just smash to death. So this setup is really well-rounded for PvP, or just when you're fighting bosses for you, for all the reasons that I just kind of listed. If I am going for a PVM setup, or at least multiple enemies instead of just a single boss, I would do it a little differently. I would still carry Warg, up here, just because of the attack. The other ones, you lower attack, greater health, hit points. It's a companion. I'd rather have the attack while it's around. And if it dies a little bit faster, it dies a little bit faster. I would still carry the Mark for Death, just in case you do come across a boss. It's just great increased damage no matter what target you're using it on. And you can stack, I should say, the Mark for Death with the Heavenly Net, which is definitely my recommendation for this PVM setup, because the Heavenly Net is going to give you the ability to snag 4 opponents, deal 300% damage to them for a few seconds, and cause them not to scurry away, right? So think about that for like the Warrior Guard. Things of that nature, this is a great setup for it, okay? And then finally, I would still continue to use Windrider here for you. So with that being said, I would leave out for my PvP, I would leave out the go ahead and healing, because most of the time, unless you're fighting a reflective boss, you're not going to take too much damage for fighting the normal bosses, or Warrior Guard, they do no damage, right? So you should be okay as far as your overall defense goes, just by its natural basis. So I really wouldn't waste my time with the Bloodthirst and the healing. I would swap that out for the Heavenly Net, which will give you the ability for the more bosses to spread your damage across, okay? So for that nature, again, just to go, it's Summon Warg, Heavenly Net, Windrider, and Mark for Death, okay? So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, under the common talents, some people may like Haste Aura, but I still think your natural damage and the increased damage you're going to get from your attack buffs will outweigh the increase of 15% attack speed in the event of, in the case of battle. just my opinion on the matter. And keep in mind your Rainbow Arrow or your Starfall for a mage. These are passive attacks, so you definitely want to max these out as soon as you get your proficiency level to 2000, because it's not anything extra that'll take a configuration slot, and it definitely helps out quite a bit, and it adds a little extra theatrics to your gameplay because you have a new attack that you don't actually have to equip. Okay, so I know it was really quick for you, but just to recap here for you: PvP, Bloodthirst, Mark of Death, Summon Warg, and Windrider. And for PVM, my personal choice is Summon Warg, Heavenly Net, Windrider, and Marked for Death. Okay? And I will put those up here for you. But with that being said, I appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.